to go.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
What is up, Matthew?
Not much. Just, another episode, another day of editing, another day of just having a good time in the
Christmas
stuff I
time.
enjoy. Christmas time, 'tis the season. Almost
Last week before Christmas.
Yeah, less than a week, man.
Busy week for you, I would assume, with work and
all of the works.
multiple jobs, yeah.
The multiple jobs, 3 jobs technically
3 jobs
now.
going on. 4 if you include
Including
this.
Nerdy Misfit, that's the 4th job, and then trying to figure out what the family wants, and because
Yeah.
my family is
Well,
an
I mean,
interesting situation. So
I'm also a horrible procrastinator for gifts.
same.
So
That's why I'm going to be shopping right after this episode's done recording.
mine, some of them are ordered, might go out, but there's a good chance some of them might get stuff later, which I'll just wrap
It happens.
a receipt or a picture of it.
Exactly.
It happens. I mean, they'll still get it. It's not like my
Exactly.
family lives far away, so
Exactly. Easy peasy,
they'll still get it. They're not
Um,
going to care. But
Exactly. But today is the last episode
last
of
episode of the year.
2022.
The first ever year of the Nerdy Misfits.
Yeah,
and
and
the
it's
Nerdy Misfit.
crazy.
First,
Technically speaking, the
First
first ever
year-
public
first
hearing
year of,
of it.
first year of actually putting content out on the Nerdy Misfits. We did have some stuff on Instagram the previous year, but
nothing to the extent that we've
done
made
this year.
which
I'm proud of what we've
is-
done.
Honestly, so am I. And this will be coming out. This will be episode 34.
34 episodes.
So
Well,
34
that's excluding specials.
plus 6 specials, which is crazy to
So
think
40
about. So
40 episodes.
we've hit 40 episodes technically.
Yeah, well, I
but-
mean, it was just a matter, some advice to people: if you want to do something, just do it.
Just do it.
We
Easiest.
finally just bit the bullet and just finally posted.
yeah, no, like, you know
finally got together, recorded, and I'm not gonna lie, the first couple episodes are a little cringy, but
Yeah,
I feel
if,
like we kind of
We've grown.
we found our rhythm. I think a lot.
I
better.
think so too. I think from behind the scenes, and I'm still a little bit like this personally, where I feel stressed sometimes going an episode because I'm like, oh, we need structure or whatever, and like
Yeah,
so
to
it's
be
a
fair,
lot
we
better
do
now.
we do go off the cuff a lot.
Yeah,
but-
but it's good though. Our stylistic choice of our podcast is very organic.
Yeah, no, it's more of conversation, just having a chat with friends, especially when we have the guests on. We're just
Exactly. There is no structure for when
Yeah, no.
guests come on.
To be fair, we're hoping next year to have maybe some more interview style with
Yep.
potential guests. So,
Some
Look
bigger
forward to
guests. I
that.
don't know.
but I will say, we've improved a lot from the first couple episodes. I think we improved relatively quickly in terms of.
Every week got better.
I
in
just
my
remember
opinion.
being like, "Oh man, we barely hit 30 minutes or something."
yeah, the timing.
Now I'd say
yeah.
easily we hit 40 minutes.
We're
Easily.
like, yeah, it's funny because we'll look at the time. We're like, oh, we're past 50 minutes. Okay, easy. All right, let's just keep going.
And honestly, it wouldn't be as easy without the help of the fellow misfits out there.
Yeah, so
asking your questions has helped a lot. Obviously, we've been ending a lot of the podcast with 1 or 2 questions, and they're very good questions, which is why they end up only being 1 or 2 answered.
Exactly, because they're not simple questions. It's not as simple as like, oh, what's your favorite? Yes, it's like, what's your favorite this? But they're not simple. It's not like, what's your favorite color? It's like, what's your favorite because of this and this situation
Yeah.
because of that? And you're like, this is
Yeah, they're thinkers.
thought out questions, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Nerdy Misfits, for supplying those questions
And
all episodes.
Being part of the podcast, basically. We
Exactly.
couldn't do it without you guys. That's literally fills up 20 minutes of our conversation.
Exactly, and it's always good to hear from you guys. With our Discord, we were slowly getting some traction on there. So thank you.
Yeah, so if you're listening and you're not part of it, feel
J-
free to join
join
the
the
Discord. The
Discord.
link will be in the description of either the podcast or the YouTube video if that's how you like to listen to the podcast. On top of that, we've posted our first ever TikToks. We're hoping to continue posting there, so check us out there. We're super excited that we are starting to post more content than just the podcast, which was a goal before the end of the year.
And we accomplished it.
We accomplished it, and hopefully we'll keep up with that. The next big one is full-fledged YouTube videos,
Yep.
which
Are
we're working
coming
on.
soon.
We're working on.
We'll go in more in detail on that for next week's episode, which will be obviously the first episode
First
of
episode of the new year
2023.
and what's to come.
What is to come from
But
2023 for
a
Nerdy
look
Misfits.
back for
But
us, I would say
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
super excited that we started.
We started it, which was great, of course.
We've improved. Obviously, there's been some hiccups, I think, in terms of the getting used to the editing process and
Yeah, I do
some
agree with that.
some issues we've bumped into, but we fixed. We had for a while we had the humming issue, which Matt was great with, going back and re-editing
best to figure it
filter
out.
it out. But now we've essentially solved the issue without Matt having to do that. So we've saved
Thank
saving Matt some time. But happy that we solved that.
And
Really fortunate to have some nice equipment to use that'll last us, hopefully, as long as this
long as
podcast
this
lasts.
podcast is going. And it's also nice looking back too. We've had 5 guests on the
We've
podcast
had
now.
which shout out to them.
Yeah.
Super happy,
Ray,
glad everyone
Troy,
joined.
Dan,
Tim,
Eric, Tim. Yeah, I think that's all 5. Gray, Tim, Eric, Dan, and Troy. Yeah. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you for coming out. And
some on multiple episodes.
yeah, Eric was on a couple. Tim was on a couple. Gray was on, I
Super
think,
common.
4 or 5.
Our most common guest. But we're
honorable,
super
mention.
appreciative of
Yeah.
him coming on. And we hope to have more, some of the same. And we're hoping
And
to
a
have
lot of new faces too. Yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna have at least, I want to say, at least 5 new faces next year, hopefully.
And we're glad everyone had a good time. They all enjoyed their
Exactly.
experience on the podcast. So
They all want to come back, which
Exactly.
is a good sign for us.
definitely a good sign. On top of that, being consistent, I think, is a big thing.
We haven't missed a
we've
week.
never missed a week.
We've done specials. We've done extra stuff. Like
We're going into Christmas, and we're still not going to miss a week.
No, still and by the time this episode's out, our 6th special will be out.
Yep.
Just a couple days ago, and that was yikesies from behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was
Our stomachs were aching.
another food-related one. Maybe we should stop doing those.
I really think we should have
Next
just
is
done
drinks.
Drinks, yeah. We'll just do shots of 6 different vodkas, 6 different gins.
I don't think
We'll
that's
go
good.
full
I was
out.
thinking more like, Starbucks is having a X event. We'll try the.
Oh yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah. We'll do mystery coffee flavors, mystery tea
Ooh,
flavors.
yeah,
There you
interesting.
go.
But
know,
yeah,
when's
looking
National
back,
Coffee
it's been a fun. I mean, for us, since starting the podcast, it's been what, half a year, a little over that.
A lot longer than that, man. You got to picture this is episode 34, so we've done it for 34 weeks of posting.
So over 6
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
So it's been good. It's been a lot of work, some stressful times,
Some late nights occasionally.
and then there's been a time where we were less stressful because we were super ahead.
Yeah.
And then we've gone back to being only one episode, like the episode being
Yeah.
recorded for the next week.
There was some times where the episode would be coming out on Wednesday and we'd be recording Monday.
So, but looking back, it's been a great time. Looking forward to the new year. Looking forward to hitting a year. If you guys have any ideas of what we should do to celebrate a year, let us know. We'll try and see what we can do. But one more shout out for this year was we had Troy on,
Yep.
and we were talking about the World Cup. The World Cup has happened. It was probably one of the most entertaining finals I've seen. I've been probably the most recent memory of watching, I would say, is 2006, of actually remembering what happened during the game.
Louise.
During World Cups, and that was the Italy versus France. That also went to pens. This went to pens. But shout out to Argentina for winning and Messi cementifying GOAT status. I don't think it's much of a conversation anymore there with him finally getting his World Cup. But it was a super enjoyable game. I thought it was great. I'm sure the numbers back up how many views this game was probably insane. But shall we go into the main dish of this conversation?
This is the 3rd time we've been doing this. We've done one for summer, we've done one for fall, and now we're going into the winter. If you haven't guessed it, it's the anime season. Always good to review and prepare.
Yeah, so as of the release of this, I believe we will be about a couple weeks shy from we'll be 2 weeks out from this season. Because as of recording this, we're looking like most of the shows are about 17 to 21 days out.
Yep.
So by the recording of this, it'll be 2 weeks out from the new season.
Easy peasy.
And coming to an end of the fall season, there were some good shows, some definitely super hyped shows. Comes to mind is like we had the Bleach, the Chainsaw Man, we had Mob Psycho,
My Hero season 6.
My Hero, Blue Lock. So we've
Blue
had
Lock,
some
yep.
big stuff. Some stuff I'm behind. I will catch up on before the end. But they've all been pretty enjoyable. Maybe we'll do a YouTube video, a quickie TikTok, kind of covering the season, if that interests you guys. But
Another big one was Film Red.
of course,
Which I don't think we've talked too much on the podcast about, but
we plan on doing kind of a big
the big blockbuster S special. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of movies out
There's
recently.
been a lot of movies
a
out.
couple movies we still have to watch, catch up on.
Yeah, we've seen Avatar. We've seen Red, Black Panther.
Seen Black Panther. We
Um,
still got to both watch Black Adam, I
so
think.
there's a good chunk
Yeah.
of things that we want to
All
cover
different
all in
fandoms.
one.
Just easier if we throw it in one episode.
Throw in one episode for you guys. We'll release potentially some separate content just covering each individually.
Yep.
Look forward to that. Maybe from that episode, we'll just cut some mini YouTube
Small
videos or
snippets,
some
yeah.
TikToks that's snippeting the discussion of that one.
Stay tuned.
So
There's a
look forward
lot
to
of
that.
content coming, we promise.
So,
But jumping back, yeah. so-
winter 2023. So, one thing I want to say is we'll start seeing all of the 2022 anime being voted on, anime of the year, etc. Blah blah blah. I'm sure once Crunchyroll releases that, we'll cover a nice podcast discussing what we want to vote for, etc. But that's nor here nor there. We're going to discuss the 2023, the first anime of the new year. And our way of going through this is we will just be discussing the things we're interested in. We won't go through every isekai that there is.
Every single one.
There's a lot. But okay, Matt, let's start with you. What
Yeah, I
you-
feel like mine's going to be a little bit
shorter?
like, shorter than yours, yeah.
Okay, so
Because a lot of, just going through the list here, not a lot of them like stand out to me where I'm like, oh wow, I need to watch this new.
there
like,
definitely is a lot of
smaller
continuations
yeah.
of shows that you probably haven't even seen the first season or second season of. So.
Yeah, like a lot of these are like Misfit of Demon Academy 2 and I Don't Want to Get Hurt So I'll Max on My Defense 2, By the Grace of God, Season 2, right? But
so what catches your eye?
of
then?
the Season 2's aspect, there's two that stand out for me, which is Vinland Saga, which I started, and then Tokyo Revengers, which you've watched it for Season 1, I believe,
I've
right?
read the entire manga, and yes, I've
Yeah.
seen the first season.
I've watched the first 2 episodes of Tokyo Revengers Season 1 with you.
Yep.
And eventually we'll continue with that. So like those two stand out for me for like continuations. And then there's a couple new ones that there's a second season of something that we're going to mention. We won't talk about it for too long, which is Record of Ragnarok, which is a manga I really want to read because I think the concept is like right up my alley.
Yeah, I've recommended Record of Ragnarok to Matt multiple times because he's very into the
Spirituality,
but
religion,
also, you know,
action-y.
well, like the
it's-
god culture in general.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, learning like historical religions like Greek mythology.
And I don't know, like I watched part of the first season. I know people have their opinion about it. And the animation, I agree, is not the best, but the story is super interesting for me.
Story's interesting, but I don't even know if you can call what they had animation.
No.
There was a slideshow.
That's what a lot of people say. One that I'll be definitely watching is because I'm a huge Pokemon fan, and the news got released that Ash Ketchum is going to have an 11-episode show, and then Ash Ketchum is done. We're going to start with a new protagonist for the new Pokemon show and everything.
I did see that. That's big news. No more Ash. Which, you know, he's been
I'm
going for
kinda
like what, 20 years?
20,
I think
20 plus years. In a way, I'm very happy because it almost
they retired Yugi. That was was
Yeah.
super sad. I remember watching the finale of Yugi against the Pharaoh, and like that's how the
Yes.
Pharaoh. And I just remember being like, wow. But then Yu-Gi-Oh! GX slapped, so
That's fair.
got over it real quick.
They sent a small teaser of the show and like what's going to happen. And the only clip I saw so far is Ash reuniting with his Butterfree. And I know like those moments
Ash reuniting
there,
with all of his Pokemon would just be great.
finds like
Because that was the one thing that
Charizard and
always
stuff
was like
too,
sad was like he got rid of all his Pokemon to Professor Oak, and every now and then he would call Professor Oak.
yeah, but you
and
see him like
some of the
in the
mons.
new show, he like goes back to Professor Oak, and you see like all of his 32 Tauroses like run to him
Yep.
and like everything. But like it seems like he's gonna be visiting like all the Pokemon he also set free. Like I'm assuming an episode will be in the Orange Islands.
Yep.
We'll see the Butterfree that he released. We'll see Misty and Brock.
Charizard.
My big question is for this: are we gonna get an ending to Team Rocket, or will Team like Jesse and James be in the new show? Like, part of me,
Team Star.
like kind of wishes that Jesse and James will get their happy ending in this 11 episode. You know,
Steel Pikachu. Is that the
Steel
happy ending?
Pikachu. Realize that they shouldn't do this, and they're actually like friends with Ash, kind of thing. Like, I
Oh,
don't
they're just
know.
like, oh, we're gonna join you.
Yeah, you know what? Giovanni's actually kind of a dick. So you know what, Ash? We're sorry for the last 25 years. I don't know. You know what I mean? Or like maybe they sent
Well, it's
Like-
definitely an end of an era.
end of our
Right.
childhood in a way. Like it's
Like-
crazy.
Grew up with Ash. Saw him lose. Saw him got back up.
Saw him lose again
Saw him lose again.
and
get back up
again
and lose
and again.
and lose.
And
But he's done it,
again.
and now
He's
he's like,
done
I'm
it.
done.
He's like, this is it. I have become the champion of the world.
I'm done. I'm the best.
Going on to another one. My guilty pleasure anime is getting a season 5. Aggressive Agretsuko,
Yep.
which we don't have to talk about too much. But otherwise, of the new animes, only one really kind of stand out for me. Well, two of them. One of them is one called Revenger, which is it's an action historical, which just kind of has to do with some samurai clans and one of like the survivors of the last remaining samurai clan. So it's very like actiony, but historical seems super interesting. And then another one too is I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Kaina of the Great Snow Sea. So in another world, an ever-growing sea of snow has engulfed the planet's surface. The people struggle to survive living around the roots of a massive orbital tree whose branches spread to the celestial membrane high above the ground. And it just seems like it's I don't want to say a cliche story, but a story of like a dying world and how are they going to survive.
Yeah, like the
So-
apocalyptic kind of.
Dystopian kind of style. So those kind of popped out the most for me.
That's by Polygon Pictures. Interesting.
But
Yeah, that definitely seems like at least a intriguing story if done well.
if done well, yeah. There was I don't think I selected it, but there's a music movie coming out, like a jazz movie. I think it was called like Blue Star. Is that right? I remember seeing it somewhere on this list.
I saw that there's a 7 Deadly Sins movie
Wait.
coming out.
Yeah. No. Blue Giant. That's what it was. That's the music movie, and just the picture is just a dude with a saxophone, and the animation surrounding him is like, dang, and it's classic. I'm gonna be the best jazz player in the world. But
Do it up.
I'm a sucker for music, so anytime music gets involved, like as part of a story point, I'm definitely intrigued because sometimes it will go well, other times it won't. But anywho, that kind of sums up for me. So Connor, let's hear what's your list looking like? What are you pumped for?
Okay, well, let me just pull up the my live chart. If you guys don't know, we use livechart.me. It's just a good website for that organizes the season. Let's go. Okay, so I will sort this by what I'm going to watch and consider. So I actually just have them all listed out here. Okay, so I've seen The Misfit of Demon Academy season 1. Was a great show. Was hilarious, and I'm totally down to see season 2 and see where it takes us. So nothing much to say there. It's the next season, so we won't dwell too much into that. We have the quintessential quintuplets movie, which is covering the last bit of the manga in movie form instead of a season. So I will be watching that at some point. I'm not completely caught up on the anime, but I will be catching up to watch the movie. So that's another sequel that I definitely plan on watching and completing the series. You mentioned Vinland Saga Season 2. It's definitely one of my favorite anime, one of my favorite manga.
And it's Mappa, so
Mappa Studios is now taking over. It was originally by Studio Wit for the first season. Studio Wit, if you don't know, they are the ones who did the original Attack on Titan seasons. So excited to see what Mappa will bring to Vinland Saga, see how they handle it. I'm also super excited in a funny way to see how anime-only watchers react to this season, since it has a completely different tone to the first season. So I'm just interested to see what the community thinks of it. But
it is one of tank.
I don't think it'll tank, but I'm just some people only like action. There's not as much action, so I'm interested to see how they react to that. Definitely one of my favorite mangas, so I'm excited for that season. Going down, we have a couple more sequels. We've got Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. First season was super fun, funny, some ecchi, but enjoyable nonetheless. Some cute moments for sure. So I'm excited for the second season. I have read part of what is in the manga of the second season. I haven't gone too far in the manga, but I definitely enjoy the series more than I thought I would, but excited for this season.
Okay.
Tokyo Revengers, definitely one of my favorite manga I've read this year. To be fair, there aren't many manga I can say that I've finished this year, since I'm reading so many ongoing ones. Definitely a gold mine. which we'll mention in a later episode, is to, finish some more completed stories.
Yep.
But although there are some things I may or may not have liked for the ending of Tokyo Revengers as a whole, I really enjoyed the story. So I'm super excited to see this arc animated. So not much more to say about that, but you should check it out. It's super fun.
That was Tokyo Revengers.
All right, and now going on to more, we got the Kaguya-sama Love is War. I believe this is a movie. Gonna be watching that. I mean, there's not much to say. Love is War is a super fun rom-com with a extra psychological aspect to it. So,
Oh, okay. Wait. I think I watched. Did I watch this? Is this? There was like 2 seasons, or am I thinking of a different show?
nope.
Here?
There's 2 previous seasons of it.
Okay, so I've watched the first season, and I think.
Yeah, and it's super fun.
Yeah,
It's
super
about
fun.
the class president and the vice president. They're both into each other, but they don't want to give in to admit it.
Yep.
Super fun, super enjoyable. So I'm definitely going to be watching that. And now we go on to the more not guaranteed but interested in. So Inspector, I've watched the first half of it, the first season, which was decent. Like, it was okay. I can't remember why I stopped watching. I think part of me was just busy. So I might finish the first season, kind of decide from there if I'm going to continue watching the second season.
Okay.
And then I think we discussed Record of Ragnarok. I'll give whatever this OVA or whatever it is a chance. See if they actually animated stuff. If they didn't, then I won't watch it.
Yep.
And then I think that covers all the sequels. So there's a couple shows that caught my eye that I'll give the old 3-episode try and see if I'm going to continue watching it. But I've got Nier on here. Never played any of the Nier games, but feel like since I haven't, I don't have any crazy expectations of it like one of the players of the game might. So I'm interested to see just maybe some of the lore if they cover it. See if it looks as good as the games look. So not much more to say about that, but I'm interested. Give it the 3-episode try. That's going to be by A1. I've got The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, which is like a very classic kind of rom-com. It's seeming from a light novel where it's like, the super popular does everything like out of my league girl, and you're like, and they put you in that really basic you're following the protag where it feels like yourself kind of thing. Like, this unlikely duo ends up, well, we'll see what happens, but it's basically, the synopsis is so basic where it's like beautiful girl who's, big on sports, good grades, et cetera, meets average Joe. And you just follow them. So I'll give it the 3 episodes, see if it can grasp me from there. If not, no big deal. I'm sure there'll be another one of those next season.
Always. Every season.
Then we've got My Life as Inukai-san's Dog, which is labeled as comedy ecchi. And it seems like someone has been put into just been turned into a dog, and they're the dog of their crush.
Oh boy.
So I don't know if there's much more that needs to be said about that, but I'm sure there'll be some interesting situations. Like Matt mentioned, he mentioned the Great Snow Sea. Seems interesting.
Right?
So give it the 3-episode try, see if it can really pull me in or not.
The poster looks cool.
I mean, you can always make a cool poster or even an okay description, but it doesn't mean anything. It is on Crunchyroll, which means it's watchable.
Yep.
That's another thing with some of the I'm thinking of watching this, but then it pulls you away because
it's not on certain things.
Yeah, it's on it's just too much work, and it's like, okay, not going to watch that. And then the final 2, we've got a Kyoto animation of Tsurun the Linking Shot. Definitely said that wrong, but it's I'm not too sure how many episodes. It's based on a light novel, has no synopsis, but it's Kyoto animation, so I'm in.
It says it's 2nd season.
Is it the 2nd season?
Yeah, 2nd season of. Let's see here.
Oh, you're right. All right, we'll just cut that out.
Oh, it's an archery
anime.
Archery anime. Interesting. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out what sport it would be.
Very weird that it didn't pop up on live chart though for cutting it out.
Yeah.
Considering I have set. Anyways, we'll just skip that then. Okay, and then we got The last one is Gold Kingdom and Water Kingdom. This is by Madhouse. Looks like it's a movie. Says it's a shoujo based off a manga. I'm a big Madhouse fan, so the synopsis seems interesting enough. And I don't watch too many anime movies. So any anime movie that kind of grasps my attention, I mean, it's by a studio I enjoy, so in a genre that's not my typical genre, so totally down to give it a try. We'll
Switch
give
it
it
up,
give it a watch, probably with Matt.
Yeah.
We can give it a quick rating,
I'm always down to watch a movie,
But yeah, I haven't watched many anime movies. Usually I'm just like, the thing I like about anime is it's 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Watch a couple eps, boom, you're done. Go
That's
do
so
something
funny
else.
because I remember seeing this meme or like a video, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to watch like this 9-hour movie?" And he's like, "No." And he goes, "Okay, do you want to watch
48
9
episodes?
episodes
Yeah,
of a show that are hour long?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
frickin'.
It is really, that's the case though. It's like this weird mindset. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's because it feels like you're getting more content or like seeing more happening.
It's like that subconscious be like, I could take a break if I wanted to between episodes. I
Yeah.
won't, but I could.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just easier to crank out
It's true.
2, 3,
No, I
20-minute
do
episodes.
get it. Yeah.
And be like, okay, that was my anime fix for the day.
Yeah. 6 episodes, could have watched a movie, but it's fine.
Or that's half a season.
Or that's what the issue is, right?
Exactly.
Watch a movie or half a season.
So that's kind of where I am.
And then Demon Slayer is like, we could do both.
Yeah. But I definitely am going to try and up that on top of reading more series that are completed to try and complete series.
Yeah.
I definitely want to try and up how many animated movies I've seen.
Definitely. And that stuff we'll also be talking about in the New Year's episode, which is crazy.
But overall, that is...
There's one that kind of, scrolling through more of the live chart here, there's one that kind of pops out to me because I'm such a kaiju fan. There's one called Giant Beasts of Ours. Basically, the beast created the land, but humans stole it. Angered, the beast started eating humans. Seems like Attack on Titan a little bit, just like obviously with the giants and stuff. But it seems a little, giant beasts are hunted by humans for profit. This dude, your main character, you're following his hunting beast, counters someone who's getting chased, and they decide to save her, and then like, oh no, humanity in the mysterious experiment. So.
But yeah, that's 13 anime in total for me, 2 of which were movies. So those 2 movies, 11 anime. We'll see.
We'll
see how it is.
Last till the end.
Yeah, we'll see if some of them even get started, if some even get finished.
I gotta watch a lot. Like I gotta watch like Vinland Saga and Tokyo Revengers before I can jump into some of this new season.
That's fair. Yeah, there definitely will be some catching up needed to be done for me as well on some of them.
Debating about finishing Ragnarok season 1, but I probably shouldn't waste my time.
Kaguya-sama, I need to catch up on that, and it's definitely one of the big ones. Kaguya-sama, Inspector, and Quintessential Quintuplets. Those are all the ones I need to catch up completely on, but
that's fair.
All of them I do enjoy. I mean, Inspector, to be determined. Like I said, I'm going to finish the first season and kind of decide if I even want to bother to watch season 2 or not.
Now, with obviously this season, there is a lot of stuff that are carrying on from last season, kind of what we mentioned, like One Piece. We got My Hero season 6, Blue Lock. Trying to see what those are kind of like the big ones that are kind of continuing on, right? Not too many other ones are continuing on.
Not too sure. Haven't really checked. I know that Blue Lock is going to be 24 episodes, and this was the first season that was going on.
Same with My Hero season 6, another 24 episodes.
So definitely, obviously, going to continue watching anything we mentioned previously. But yeah, I would say Blue Lock has surprised me. It's been really entertaining. Also, I mean, I guess no better time to release it also during like the World Cup hype. I'm sure that
perfect timing. I think.
Yeah, doesn't hurt either. But I think that considering I wasn't reading it or I didn't know much going in, I remember Gray mentioned something about it before to me.
Yeah. Are you hoping to read it now, or what's
Well, I don't know. I might not jump right into it yet, just because the season's not done. I might jump into it after the season's done. But I've been enjoying watching it. It's been scratching that sports anime itch since
Haikyuu's
been done. well, not that Haikyuu's done, but since
Yeah.
the latest season ended, and also the manga ended when it did, like, haven't really jumped on any big sports ones.
Jumped on
since.
that archery one too.
Yeah, could definitely jump on the Kyoto, see what they're doing.
It's just, yeah, I don't know. I still haven't gotten into the sports anime yet. I don't know.
Don't worry, we will, sir. We will.
Eventually, maybe that'll be a goal for 2023. Matt watches his first, second, and third sports anime.
First, second, and third. Yeah, that's definitely
You know how
a
it is with me.
possibility. But not too bad of a season to start things off, if you ask me. I think
No, I
we've
think
got
honestly,
we got a good mix of some interesting first-time shows, and we got definitely some solid sequels coming out of shows people like. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, the end of this season of anime, of this year's worth of anime. I'm excited to see what everyone's favorite shows were for the year. See what ends up being that just piled on. Will it be Chainsaw Man? Will that be the piled on, wins everything? It's possible, but you never know. Sometimes people surprise you in something.
An underdog.
Well, I think back
probably
to
not, but
some of the Crunchyroll awards. We had like Yuri on Ice or My Hero taking everything in their respective years. And then Devilman Crybaby managed to pull off the upset win for anime of the year, which a lot of people thought was deserved. So you never know.
Some people
Maybe
thought it was deserved.
Maybe it will end up surprising us, and we'll get something that isn't super expected.
You never know.
Not saying Chainsaw Man's bad.
No, but the hype around it is.
It just feels like that popularity affects it so greatly,
which is unfortunate.
But it's a good series, so
Yeah.
nonetheless. But I think this is just the warm up, because I think the following season.
Well, even what we know for spring season so far is Demon Slayer's coming back.
We got that. We got the Black Clover finally returning. It took a massive hiatus for a bit. We've got a Konosuba.
For manga fans, Mashal. This is the season.
We got third season of Dr. Stone. We got the Ancient Magnus Bride finally getting its second season. Super hyped up show when it first came out.
And this is also when a new movie comes out, which I'm super excited about because it comes out like a few days before my birthday in North America, which is done from the creator of Your Name and Weathering with You.
Yep.
Their new movie comes out.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of hype for this year. This year of anime is going to be fantastic, I'm sure. I'm sure everyone's going to love it. But we're starting off, I think we're starting off with some nice appetizers. There's going to be some really nice things in there.
And it's just going to keep going up from there.
If the past few years of anime haven't been a sign of just
what's to come.
There's always some great stuff coming. We're in for a treat, I think, this year with some great shows people know, and hopefully some new shows to just explode onto the scene. And
exactly,
that's just part of it. Part of it's guessing. Part of it's getting to see those shows you've read or the manga you've read finally getting their spotlight for an anime, and hoping that they don't completely disappoint you.
Fingers crossed that they
Which
don't.
is always always a possibility to happen.
Which is unfortunate, but we'll see. Stay tuned. Yeah.
But that's been this little recap or
recap of the
year,
future of the anime stuff.
Future anime, a combination of the past and future.
If you're watching anime this season or you're watching anime next season, what are you excited for? What did you enjoy this past season? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And if you're not into anime, we always recommend giving it a try. If it's read the synopsis of some of the shows. If it's the animation that throws you off, sometimes some of the best stories are told, honestly, through it, and you'd be surprised how much you end up liking it.
Exactly. And if you guys want to get into anime, but depending on what your genres are, you're not sure where to start, you can message Connor, you can message me, and
Check us out on the Discord. Some of the fellow nerdy misfits are always down to give recommendations.
Exactly.
Obviously, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. Christmas time, busy time of the year.
Exactly.
Wanted to get this one last episode recorded for you guys.
Yeah, happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year,
happy
Connor.
Holidays to
happy
everyone.
holidays, all the holidays. And and we'll see you next year.
Next year, wow.
Insane.
2023. What happened to 2020?
Or 2021 or 2022.
What is happening to all of these years?
The world is going by way too quick, man.
But thanks for a wonderful first year of the
Thanks
Nerdy
for
Misfit
supporting
podcast.
us.
Thank you for supporting us. Thanks for listening. And we will see you guys
next
year.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you, and see you next week.